Atlanta at Washington. Washington is now a 4-point favorite. This one has come down a bit since Sunday. I don't actually mind. Like, I think I'd want to bet Washington. So I'm glad the number's coming down.
Simon says take Atlanta Falcons. Shock the
Wow.
world. Yeah, I'm in. I went back, watched the Penix tape, and um,
He was
he,
great.
yes, it is
He was
night
great.
and day
Yeah.
from him, from Kirk Cousins. The way that offense can run now, the fact that these safeties can't come down, like it's going to open up so much for Robinson. And we just saw it. This Washington defense, Chad, they're not that good. Like they were, whatever they did early in the year, the schemes they ran, it's been figured out for the most part, right? We've kind of seen down this tail end here. I mean, even your guy Caleb Williams tore them up for the most part. Like he had those two big drives at the end of the game because as the games go along, it seems like Washington's defense just isn't as good as we all thought they were early in the year. Just because early in the year they were really good. Like Dan Quinn had those guys playing at a really high level. They basically almost just gave up a backdoor to Spencer Rattler. Like after watching that Saints game last night, it was like I can't believe he almost just upset and beat them. Um, you know, got smoked by Dallas a couple weeks ago in Cooper Rush. It's just I don't think they're a good enough defense to be catching more than 3 points against an offense that can't move the ball and a team that's leading their division right now in Atlanta. Now, we talked about it Sunday night. Like my hesitation was this is Michael Penix's second start now. He's going to be on the road in a primetime game. That's a lot to put on a rookie's shoulder in this exact spot. But he seems like a cool dude that's like doesn't get phased by this. Like I was watching another interview of him from what he played at Washington, I believe, and
Yeah.
it was basically him in the college playoffs talking and like just the fact that they'd never been there before and the pressures he's feeling, and he just seems so cool, calm, and collective. And I was just like, he's got a little bit of that Joe Burrow to him that like he doesn't seem like he's going to get flustered by this big moment and that he's ready to meet this moment. And going back and watch the tape, I couldn't believe how good he was and command he was in the pocket. I mean, obviously that one pick, Kyle Pitts, kind of left him out there to dry. He had like Kyle Pitts basically had a bad juggle at the one
Yeah,
or
that
2 yard
wasn't
line.
Penix's fault.
No, right. And, Pro Football Focus had him graded really high last week after that performance. So it's like the numbers back it up. He backs up the eye test. It's really all about the letdown from this Washington team. Like that win they just had, how do you not come down from it the following week? Like that to me was just so insane. That comeback win against the Eagles where they definitely got away with one there. In no world should they have won that with 5 turnovers. Like the only other team that we've done that is Detroit, right? Detroit did that against Houston early in the year with a late
Yeah.
second field goal to steal it. So I'm pissed the numbers moved down so much. I was really hoping it was 4.5 for Simon Says, but I still like the 4 just because I see this same thing last week. I thought Washington was going to get down to 3 against Philly. I think the same thing with Atlanta. I think Atlanta is going to get down to 3.5 in this matchup. So grab the 4 while you can and get that key number.
You call Caleb Williams my guy, and I love him dearly, and I want him to be brilliant, and I
You
think he will
should.
be one day. Michael Penix is also my guy because Michael Penix was brilliant at my alma mater, Indiana
Oh
University,
yeah.
during the COVID years. And if not for the injuries. And then I became an avid fan when he was at Washington. I love watching the guy throw. Like I watched a lot of that Atlanta Giants game mainly because I wanted to watch Michael Penix because I think he's so good throwing the ball. He's so
Yeah.
accurate. He's so comfortable. He's so smooth. I agree with your take on his presence. And I do think, look, you play in big games in college and he's old. He's not a 20-year-old kid like Anthony Richardson coming in who's an athletic freak, but hasn't had the exposure to high pressure situations. He's played in massive games. Obviously, the NFL prime time late in the season, playoffs on the line is different, but when you're 22, 23, and you're leading your team to an undefeated season or near undefeated season, and then you're playing Michigan for a national title, or you've got to beat Oregon twice to get into the national title game and get in the playoffs, like though if you're at Indiana and you're playing at Northwestern, that's scary. So I'm kidding about the last one, Simon. Okay. Uh, so he's played in spots and he's old already. All these guys, they're so freaking old. So
And not to punch down the other sports, but this game to me sums up why the NFL is king and just the best sport by far, that it doesn't need to do anything to self promote because of this exact game of you have a rookie quarterback in Jane Daniels now, you know, bringing this Washington team back from hell to them thinking they're going to have 15 years of greatness playing against an Atlanta team that same thing. They've been looking for a quarterback for their lifetime. Now both these guys are on a Sunday night primetime game, two rookies, and they're both deciding their playoff fate. It's like the MLB, the
Can't
NHL.
wait.
Yeah, they literally could never even dream up this exact scenario. So it's just, to me, as a fan of just football, it's like this is the best. Like these two young guys trying to save these two franchises that have just been sputtering these last couple of years. I just love this matchup so much.
I'm with you, man. You know what? You've turned me around. I didn't have a strong opinion. I leaned
I got
Washington.
where you're coming from Washington, though, just because it is Penix on the road as a rookie. Like, this is
I'm all in. Penix,
my man.
Penix, Penix.